Hi blessed people, welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about being a trad wife. So I've been a trad wife for 9 years. And who is a trad wife? I feel like every day you find new words on the internet. This is not necessarily a new word, but it's just become a thing, and you see people saying they want to become trad wives. So today I want to share my experience with being a trad wife. I will share the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, what I wish I knew, and all of that in between. Okay, so who is a trad wife? A trad wife is basically a wife who has decided to carry on the traditional wife roles. And what are some of the traditional wife roles that we know? Like, okay, cook, clean, take care of the kids, stay home, being a stay-home mom basically, and not I'd say not earning income, which in this video, I'm going to point out that there's a huge difference between the traditional wives of the 1960s, because it's almost looking like, oh, people are trying to bring back the trad wife thing of in those days. But it's really impossible because there are so many differences, and I'm going to point out a few of them. So you want to stay on this video till the end, okay? So that's who a trad wife is. Basically, a wife who has taken on the roles of a traditional wife. So now, how did I become a trad wife? I became a trad wife unplanned. Okay, I feel like this is a story of many women who have become stay-home moms for years. Is unplanned, right? For me, I got married when I was 21, and I had just finished my first degree, my bachelor's degree. The plan was for me to go ahead and study and do my master's, right? But then a year after I got married, I had my first baby, and then I just went into, okay, mommy mode, learning how to do things, taking care of my baby, while my husband went into full swing provider mode, ensuring that we have everything. Now, fast forward to when my first child was about to turn 2 years old. My husband had applied for a master's in universities in the UK. So he got his admission and he had to go to the UK. And then when he was going to the UK, I don't know why I thought that it was possible for me to have a new baby and then start my master's immediately with my husband traveling to, like, there were so many different things happening, but we both agreed, and he actually helped me through. We took my pictures, did the application for my master's degree, and then submitted, and I actually got admitted. Then when I had the baby, I'm like, I was confused. I had my admission and I'm like, how do I do this? I think women have done it and women can do it. Like, you can have a baby and go back to school, especially if you have a very strong support system. But then there were just a lot of factors that were coming into play. We were also applying for myself and my kids our visas to travel and meet my husband to the UK. So I was just in a place where I wasn't settled. And for me, I always believe in doing one thing at a time, one step at a time. And I like to have a cool head. I don't like to be everywhere and nowhere. So I halted that. I didn't go to school. I didn't carry on with the program. And then we finally now traveled to the UK. The plan was to stay there. This story I'm telling you guys is for you guys to see how I ended up being a stay-home mom for this long, right? Or how I ended up being a trad wife for this long. So we went to the UK together, and the plan was for us to stay there. But for some reasons, we couldn't stay there. We had to come back to Cameroon. That was before COVID. And when we came back to Cameroon, life hit us hard. So everything was happening at the same time. There was COVID, there was lockdown, there were no jobs. Everything was just hard and hard and hard. And then when after I had my second child, 2 or 3 weeks after, that's when I started this channel. And so I started doing my YouTube. I loved it. I was interested in, I was so invested, still am invested in it. Okay, so that's how I just continued doing my YouTube, went to the UK, continued doing my YouTube, came back, continued the journey on YouTube till date. And I have never dreamt of, I've had a couple of things that I've done that I've earned money from outside of YouTube, but I had some dates here. So for the first 4 years of my marriage, I never made any money. And I'm talking about money because it has a lot to do with this whole trad wife something, right? So I started my YouTube channel on September 29, 2018. That was after I had my daughter. That was a couple of weeks after, because I gave birth to her on the 16th. It wasn't even a couple of weeks. It was like, yeah, a couple of weeks after. And then after starting my channel on September 29, 2018, I got my first pay on the 23rd of January 2020. So that's 2 years after I'd been on YouTube. So for the first 2 years, Everything I had to do, my YouTube channel, from my gadgets, my tripods, my lights, my filming phone, everything, my husband had to get it, and I wasn't making any money. Now, what my life has looked like for the past 9 years being a trad wife. So basically, I've depended on my husband for everything financial, right? For everything financial, I have depended on him. Of course, I've been taking care of the kids. Most times I am their primary caregiver, the primary food preparer or maker or cooker in my house. I'm concerned with a lot of the things when it comes to the home, like fixing up the home, ensuring that the kids' clothes are clean, ensuring that myself and my husband, all of those things. For the first, I would say first 4-5 years, for the first 4 years, I did that actively, like washing the clothes, myself and my bigger daughter that I have with me in the house. Okay, we did that. And then now, more recently, I have people that I pay to do that, but I still am concerned with it because, okay, when it's done, I ensure that things are packed where they are supposed to be and things like that. So basically, for the past 9 years, that's what my life has looked like. And even more recently, I have taken the role of being a wife and mom, a trad wife, a whatever, a caregiver. I've taken the role more seriously because I literally have timetable for my kids. I literally have goals that I'm setting outside of their educational goals and all of that. I have things that I'm setting that I want them to achieve. I have a lot of things that I'm investing now because I've come from, you know, there was a time when in my trad wife journey, there was a time when I saw me being at home with my kids as a sacrifice. Now I see it as an opportunity. I see it as God trusting me with souls to be able to bring them back to him. I just see it as a blessing. I see it as an opportunity. I see it as a responsibility that comes with a lot of blessings. Okay, that's how I see my role as a trad wife now. And for the past 9 years, that has basically been what my life has looked like. I have done a couple of things here and there. There was a season before my husband traveled for his master's where I was doing people's hair and they were paying me. So I was making really little money. Like, it's like putting a tiny drop of water in the ocean, right? What I was making, what I was bringing into my home financially, money-wise. Dear mom, dear trad wife, dear stay-home mom. So you see me insisting on the financially part because one of the things I've realized, which is a huge pain point among stay-home moms and trad wives, is the fact that they don't understand the value of the services that they render to their homes. And rightfully so, because even society, even some of the husbands that women are married to don't value the services that they render in their home. Now, just imagine if you had a 9-to-5 job, you would pay somebody to take care of your children, or you pay for daycare, or you pay for somebody to cook and clean and all of that, and you are at a point where you find yourself doing all those things by yourself. Please add some value. There's financial value that comes from the physical activities and the work that you do in your home. So you might not be bringing in finances, and I'm pointing this out because I know this is a huge pain point among stay-home moms, and it is being fostered even more by the society that we find ourselves in. So I thought to emphasize on this at this point in the video. I will touch on it again at some point. Okay, I forgot to mention it while I was filming, but that's why I decided to interrupt the video and talk about it at this point, because I know some people watch videos and they don't go to the end. But I encourage you to keep watching this video because at some point I'm going to talk about money making aspects when it comes to being a stay-home mom, a trad wife, whatever you choose to call it. Okay, that's how my life has been. Okay, now I want us to talk about regrets being a trad wife. Now I'll just say again, like I had said before, that I see this opportunity. I see that the fact that I'm able to be home and still have my needs met and have my children well taken care of and being present for my husband, my children, serving them, being there for them. Okay, and then having enough time in my hands, not rushing between. There's just this overwhelming life that is being encouraged now. I feel like that's the order of the day, and that's why you see that women who have decided that this is what I want to be. I want to be there for my kids, I want to be there for my family, and sometimes it's even temporary. Sometimes it's not like, oh, forever. It's a case of, okay, till my children are this age, I'm going to be able to now do this because I want to be there for them at their formative years, right? But you find that a lot of women online are judging women who have decided to take this path, and it's sad because Why? Anyways, and for me, I find it very fulfilling. I find it very healthy for me that I have enough time for my kids. Sometimes it's very stressful, to be honest. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's overwhelming. But that's why I am working on creating systems. I have a lot of systems in my home. I don't cook every day. I don't cook every day. I cannot cook every day. I cook once a week, and that is it. If I have to cook within the week, it is out of my heart desire. It is not because my family lacks what to eat or I lack what to eat. I have somebody now that comes in to help me. This was not the case from the beginning. I had to learn and grow. Okay, I had to learn and grow. And there was a phase also in my YouTube career where I wasn't making money. There came a phase where I was being paid after every 3 months. There came a phase where I was being paid after 2 months, and there has come a phase where I am paid every month. So I feel like there's growth, and I'm what's the word, I'm comfortable. You know, there are people that they want to chase and catch everything. That's not the kind of person that I am. And that does not make me less ambitious than someone who's out there chasing and catching everything. I walk at my pace, and I live a life where I feel good in my mind. I feel good spiritually. I feel healthy, and I believe that I'm okay. And I know that I have ambitions. My ambitions might not look like the ambitions of other people, but I do have ambitions. And if that's your case, then I don't want you to ever feel bad because somebody said, oh, or somebody made a side comment to you on something like that. So I believe I've answered the question on if I have regrets or not. So now I want us to look at some of the advantages and the disadvantages of being a trad wife, and some of the things that, first of all, let's talk about the difference between a trad wife then in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, and now. Now, typically, trad wives are not expected to earn money, but with the world that we are living in now, see, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Now let me point out that if you are a trad wife and you earn 0 francs and you bring 0 money cash into your home, it doesn't make you a liability, especially if you have come to that place where it's a conscious decision and where it is your free will. No, you're not being forced, you're not under any pressure to do that, to be at home, okay, where it is your decision. Don't feel like you are a liability. Now, I believe that there are seasons. I typically will never advise a woman to be at home and not make any money for herself, because there's a fulfillment that you get from making money. There is also a fulfillment that you get from taking your children. So the more fulfillment you have, it's good for you, right? It's good for you. So I would always advise that if you can make money from home, please go ahead and do it. With the coming of the internet, so many things are possible. Online business, having a channel like what I have, there are just so many things that you can do. You can take courses, you can learn, you can even work, okay? You can actually work through the internet, like work for a company, but you're working from home. During the days of COVID, that's what happened. So this is the main difference between a trad wife in the 60s and a trad wife now. The fact that a lot of women are making a lot of money from their homes, working. Okay, look at someone like CCME. CCME is there for her children. She's there with her children. In as much as people would say that this whole YouTube and internet thing is not as secure, please tell me, who told you that being a lawyer is more secure? Who told you? For me, my security is in Christ. Of course, I plan, I use my head, I think about, oh, what can I do next? I have a lot of things that I'm currently considering, but I'm not under any pressure to overachieve. I'm not under any pressure to become. Okay, I feel I have fulfillment in pouring into my children. For me, that's one of my greatest fulfillment, pouring into my children, being the absolute best version of myself for the people that God has gifted me, the people that He has blessed me with. And in recent time, I have actually come into that place where I understand that this is a privilege, this is a blessing, this is a responsibility. And me being home with my children, to me, it is not a sacrifice. Instead, if I had to go out there, look for a job, go morning to night, come back home before, it's a lot. To me, that is the sacrifice. So people who are doing that, I see it as a sacrifice. I see it as them sacrificing the time that they would spend with their children. They sacrifice a lot and it's hard. So for me, when I look at people like that, I acknowledge that they are making a huge sacrifice for the financial benefit of their family, right? So that's how I see it. If you continue to see your being at home with your children as just a sacrifice that you are making, a weigh down on you, you feel like it's a burden, you feel like you're doing so much. But when I see it, I've chosen to see it as service. I've chosen to see it as an opportunity, as a blessing, as a gift. Okay. Yeah, what else are we going to talk about now? So I pointed out the main difference between the trad wife of in those days and the trad wives of now. The trad wives of now are actually living large. I tell you, a lot of the trad wives that you see, women that are stay-home moms, they are living large. And most times, in a lot of homes, you see, even the women who go out, it's not because they want to. It's not because, yeah, for a lot of women, they want to, they're ambitious. They have this particular passion and drive for whatever it is they're doing, whether they are a lawyer or whatever. They have ambition and they have drive. But also in certain countries, families need two income. So you that are able to stay and cater to your kids, ensuring that they are well fed, ensuring that their every need, their mental, emotional needs are being taken care of, it's a privilege. The fact that you can have a partner that can man up the house. Now let's go into the advantages of being a trad wife. One of it is that you have a lot of time to spend with your kids and your family, right? Your time is not being controlled. And obviously, I have had to learn over time that even though I'm working for myself, like with my YouTube channel, I'm doing this, nobody's telling me, oh, submit this, oh, submit that. But I have to still plan and I have to manage my time well. If not, I'll always be running out of time. The home is going to be disorganized. So I have timetables. I have timetables. I know that, okay, at 6 p.m., if we have not started winding down, then we are going to sleep late. I know that. If at 5 a.m. I'm not up, the day is not going to be that great. So most times I have my alarm set at every day. I have my alarm set at 4:50 so that I can take 10 minutes to actually wake up. Then from 5 to 6, I can pray. On days that I want to work out, I can pray from 5 to 5:30. Then from 5:30 to 6, now I work out. So that 6 a.m. when the kids are waking up, whatever it is that I can chip in, I can chip in, right? So you have enough time to spend with your kids. You have enough time to heal, especially after childbirth. When you have your child, 3 months, me and you know, if you've had babies, 3 months is not enough. I had my child, it's almost 2 years now, and I am just getting to that point where I feel my body. I lost a lot of blood when I was giving birth. So even 6 months down the line, I would stand and at times I'll feel like my eyes are spinning. I'll feel weak. I was constantly checking with my gynecologist. So imagine a woman 3 months after, she has to go back because the family needs her income. So that is a sacrifice. Another benefit of being a trad wife is that I can monitor my children. I can monitor my children and I am in charge of what they eat. Like all of my children from when they were born till now, my first child is about to turn 8, right? And I've always known what he eats. I've always been there 247. I've always been there. I've had just maybe a few days that I've been away from my children, and that's it. Maybe like their entire life, maybe like 5-10 times, and I think I need a vacation. Anyways, I get to monitor their mood changes. I also get to monitor their mood changes and know if anything is wrong somewhere. I'm someone who is very keen. I know their behavioral patterns. I watch them when they come back from school. I know to check. I know if something went wrong in school, and immediately I ask questions. So I have that opportunity. To me, that's a blessing. To me, it's an opportunity. To me, it's something, I don't know, it's amazing. Disadvantages of being a trad wife. Fatigue. Most times with trad wives, if you are a trad wife or a stay-home mom, you know that a lot of the times you find yourself staying indoors, week in, week out, and it can be depressing. It can be tiring. And then the physical activities that you carry out with the children as well, depending on the ages of your children, it can be very tiring, right? It can be very tiring. And then there's something else that had happened to me in a season of being, I feel like somebody is awake. I feel like Daniel is up. Let's finish this video. Okay, no, I think it's my neighbor's child. So there's something that happened to me in my journey of being a stay-home mom, trad wife. I started feeling jealous of my husband. In a whole video, I'm going to talk about that. Jealousy between spouse, resentment, just feeling like, oh, your life is not changing, you're just there doing your things and I'm stuck here. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, but those are some of the things about being a trad wife. One other thing I want to say is I want to touch on the money part because it's very important. It's very, very important. There was a time in my trad wife journey where I didn't take my finances seriously, and I feel like it's very bad. It's very bad. Why do I say so? Yes, your husband's money is your money. At least that is what it's supposed to be, because if you're married, according to the Bible, right, the two become one. Right? I came across a scripture that said that if you do not work be ready to stay hungry. I'll look for that scripture. That scripture was one of the things that delivered me. I also heard a message by Pastor Kingsley. I didn't take my finances seriously. I wasn't thinking like, what can I do? What can I do? I wasn't thinking. And then also I think exposure, and with time, seeing situations, unforeseen circumstances, things that happen to people, and you're like, okay, what if I'm in this kind of situation? What do I do? So those kind of things got me to a point where, and I'm still at that point where I'm effectively working and daily trying to tick boxes here and there, having things that I'm trying to work out in the pipeline. But again, even as I see those things and I come to the acknowledgement of the fact that as a woman, as a stay-home mom, I'm supposed to have my own income coming in. Even at that, I don't live in a place of insecurity. I don't live in a place of it is me that is supplying for myself. Even when my husband provides for me, I don't see him. I mean, I acknowledge that he is the vessel that has accepted to be used by God to provide for us as the family, which is his responsibility and my responsibility. One of the things that I have taken out of my mind is the fact that, oh, it's just my husband that has to provide. And that, ever since that mindset left me, I've gotten to the point where I'm able to now say, I want to do this for the house. I want to work towards being able to afford this for my family. You get? So I think even as you're a stay-home mom, wife, take advantage of the era that we find ourselves in, that you don't have to always go out to work. It's just an advantage. I look at women like CCME. She has literally raised her children by herself. Of course, she has help. I have a house help. She comes, she will work, and then she will go. So I don't tire myself, weigh myself down, but I have the time to pour into my children in this tender age phase of their life. And I have the time to decide that I want to go back and get my master's. I want to get a job. That's if I decide, okay? And I feel like this is one of the things that I would say to you if you're a trad wife. And this is not judgment. If it's your decision, if you feel comfortable not any money, not making any franc to your name, any cent to your name, that's fine. But if you're somebody that has been considering, please, I want to encourage you, as a stay-home mom, as a trad wife, find something that you can do. It doesn't matter what, whether it's food delivery. First of all, even work on yourself. I think where my transformation started is when I realized that I needed to start watching self-help videos, watching women who are stay-home moms. What are they doing? I've heard so many women, their stories, how for the first like 10 years of them being in marriage, and those are the stories that make me feel unbothered. I don't feel shaken. And I've also had encounters with the Holy Spirit that he has told me things about myself that I'm confident in them coming to pass. So as a stay-home mom, work on your relationship with God. See your time with your children as a blessing. See your time with your children and your husband as a blessing. Be excited, be happy that you have that opportunity to pour into whole human beings, into souls that God has given you to transform and to bring back to him. So see your life as a stay-home mom as a gift. Even while you empower yourself, while you work to improve on yourself, cherish the moments that you have. And one of the things you want to also be aware of is that it can even be only for a season. One of the things I want you to also be aware of as a stay-home mom, a traditional wife, is that this phase in your life, you're not condemned to it. You can wake up tomorrow and say, I want to do something different. You can wake up the next 5 years and this is not where you are anymore. So don't feel depressed. Don't allow, especially what the world is saying now. Everybody must be chasing. Everybody must be running. And I don't live by that. I want to live a peaceful, quiet, calm, God-paced life. Do you understand? God-paced life. I don't want to run faster than my shadow. There are things that have happened to me and my family that when I look back, I so badly wanted to come out of those situations. But when I look back now, I'm like, oh God, like God, you saw this. You allowed me go through this. I'm so grateful, because if not for this, where would I be? In the next video, I'll talk about how you can stay happy and content as a stay-home mom. It's probably going to be a vlog-like kind of content, but that's what I'm going to share with you guys. I hope that this video has blessed you. Please do well to share this video with your friends, your family. If you have a sister who is about to get married, please share my channel with her. I make videos for singles and married people, talking about my experiences in marriage, talking about some things I wish I knew earlier. I'm hoping that I'm going to transform homes and transform lives and stop people from, and also to be able to stop people from making a wrong decision in marriage. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.